Hello and welcome to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. Today we're firing up the Yoder offset and we're cooking some lovely pork ribs. Don't forget guys, if you are new here, I have got an Instagram page where I post daily content and live cook-alongs. It should just be here, so head on over there, check it out, and I'll see you over there. Now I think everyone now has realised that I absolutely love pork St. Louis cut ribs. So when I saw that John Davison's Butchers has got some Iberico pork ribs, I couldn't help myself but get some on order. I think these are probably the nicest pork ribs I've ever seen. They've even got a little bit of marbling on them. Really, really nice. Plenty of fat, nice membrane to pull off on the back. Really, really good. I've also got some new rubs to try from Tubby Tom's, which I'm really excited to have a go at. And today we're going to be using the bone sucker. We're also going to be making up our own homemade glaze, which you know I love. And normally I'd say let's add some Jack Daniels into it, but not this time. We're going to keep it nice and simple and do a nice deep barbecue glaze. So let's head on over to the bench. I'll show you how to remove the membrane and how we're going to season them. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Okay, and here are our wonderful Iberico ribs, St. Louis cut, lovely looking pork ribs. If you haven't tried these, you've really got to give them a try. So let's get them out of here and let's demembrane them. Okay, so to demembrane these, grab yourself a butter knife, then you want to slide under the skin like so you can get a nice grip on it and you can hear it. Then you've got the nice little bit of flatness there. Grab yourself a paper towel and then we're just going to pull the skin or the membrane just off. Just like that. So we're just going to pull all the way to the end. You might find that you don't get it all in one swoop, so grab your butter knife, get it straight under there. And we're just going to grab this little bit here, which is the last piece of the puzzle. And that is the membrane all removed. So now we've removed the membrane, we're going to put some Frenchie's mustard on the outside and we're going to use this as the binder for the rub. So squirt this on, just a small thin layer, and on the back as well. Today we're using this stuff called Bone Sucker from Tubby Tom's. Not used it before, everyone raves about it, so I thought I'd give it a go. And we're just going to spread this over the top, just a nice liberal coat. And on the back as well. And we're going to leave that for half an hour to sit on the bench and really soak into the pork while we go and fire up Yoder. It's really important guys that you leave those ribs on the side for at least 30 minutes for that rub to really soak into the meat. But my god, do those ribs look good. I mean, they just look amazing, way better than your standard St. Louis cut ribs. Now I'm going to head over to the Yoder and I'm going to fire it up. As you can see here, we've got a couple of logs in the firebox and we've got some woody firelighters in there and a couple of bits of kindling, and we're just going to get a nice fire going. Now I keep the bits of wood here on top of the actual chamber of the burner purely because you want to get some heat into them so that when you put them into the fire they catch just like that really quick. So that's the whole idea of putting the wood on the side where the heat is. So we're going to be running at about 240 to 260 degrees Fahrenheit today, and that's what we're going to be aiming for the whole cook. One thing I've learned from doing this cook is that the offset is actually really good at dialing in the temperature. Once you get into that temperature and you just add a log, it's really good at just stabilising. Okay, so let's get these ribs onto the grill now. They've been resting on the side for 45 minutes and let's get them onto the grill. As you can see here, you want to bunch them up on the grill because that's going to be where your final position is. Now we're just going to leave those on there for at least an hour before we start spritzing. Okay, so now it's time to spritz. So in this bottle, we've just got 50/50 apple vinegar cider and water, and we're just going to spritz them. I think in an offset, you really need to keep these nice and juicy and moist because it can dry out in there. So we're going to spritz these now every half an hour or so and really give it a good go over with the spritzer. But what I will say is Wow, look at the colour of these ribs. That rub really gives a lovely colour. Okay, we're 2 hours in, and as you can see, I've moved the ribs round the other way. So we've just taken it out of the way of the fire. That side of the right hand side of the firebox was getting really hot, so it's best just to move those ribs just slightly out of the way, just to save any of the ends burning. So we're going to give it a quick spritz, then we're going to shut down the lid, and we're going to come back in another hour. Okay, we're 3 hours in now, and these are looking spot on. I will say there's no meat retraction happening here. You can't see the bones yet, but that doesn't bother me. That's not what I'm here for. What I will say though is this offset has been running now for 3 hours, and it is absolutely solid on temperature. It hasn't fluctuated from what we're dialed in at all. And all I'm doing is just chucking a log in, and we're up to sort of every 30-45 minutes for the log. So it is better than the hammer forge in that respect. So these now look like they're ready to wrap. So let's get them off. We'll get them on the bench. I'll show you what I'm going to wrap them and how I'm going to wrap them, and we'll head on over there now. Okay, so here they are off. We're just going to give them a quick spray over. And we're just going to pop some butter cubes just here over them. Then we have some dark brown sugar. We're just going to sprinkle all over the top, really get that nice caramelisation. Then we just got some apple juice that we're just going to pour in around the outside. Now we're going to close this up. Oh, I can't wait to do this rack later on, I tell you. It looks absolutely amazing. So anyway, let's get these back onto the grill, and we're going to leave them for another hour before we're doing anything. So we're an hour on now, and it's now time to make our amazing glaze that we're going to do. So I'm going to take it over to the bench. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you miss any of the measurements, I'll put them into the description, and you can check them out later on. Okay, so we're going to want 2 tablespoons of the rub that we used, Worcestershire sauce, French cheese mustard, tomato ketchup, honey, apple cider vinegar, small drop of apple juice, some brown sugar. Then we're just going to mix that all together. That's the glaze made. Smells pucker. Let's get that onto the grill now, and we're just going to let that warm through. You want to keep stirring it every 10-15 minutes, and then that will bring us up to the 2 hour mark on the ribs, and then we can start mopping them. So we're now at the 5 hour mark, and we're ready to unwrap these and just look at them. They look absolutely amazing. So now we're going to get our sauce that we've made, our glaze. We're going to get a mop, as you can see here, and we're just going to mop these down every 10-15 minutes until they go like this. And just look how good these look. And I think we're just going to let these set now on there for another 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to pull them off, and these are going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, so these are now ready. As you can see, they're looking spot on, really good. So let's get them on the bench. We're going to slice them up. I'll show you that now, and then we'll come back and I'll do a little taste test for you. Wow, look at these. These are amazing, really good. And they're not, you can't pull the bones out, so they are good. So yeah, let's slice into them. There we go, look at that, beautiful. And as I say, not completely falling off the bone, you can pull on it, very nice. Okay, so now it's time for the taste test, and there it is. Look at that beauty. So let's have a little bite. Just 1 second. Well, I think that tells the story of how good they were. Wow, without a doubt, those ribs are absolutely incredible. I'm not normally a fan of fall off the bone, but they were just something else. That barbecue sauce was a real no-brainer. It was incredible. The flavour of it, absolutely amazing. I can't describe to you how good it was. You really need to try this sauce. If you thought my Jack Daniel's sauce was good, this is next level. And the smoky texture and smoky flavour that was in the meat itself was amazing. That oak that we were putting on really gets deep into that meat. And we were only smoking it for 3 hours. I wonder what a huge brisket and what kind of smoke that would take on. So let's just summarise what we did today. We had some lovely ribs from John Davison's, and they were Iberico pork. A real rarity these days in the UK. We then demembraned them, covered them in French cheese mustard, and we seasoned it with this stuff here, which is called Tubby Tom's Bone Sucker, which was actually really nice, and I really enjoyed the flavour of the rub. We then fired up the Yoder offset, we dialed in at 250 degrees and we kept it there. We smoked the ribs for 3 hours and we sprayed them with apple vinegar cider and water every 20-30 minutes. We then took them off, we wrapped them in tin foil, double wrapped, and we had some butter and some brown sugar and some apple juice in there. We then made our amazing barbecue sauce, which I will put the recipe for in the description if you want to give it a go. Then put that onto the grill half an hour before we were ready to start mopping it, and stirred it every sort of 10 minutes just to really make sure that barbecue sauce was nice and mixed. We then grabbed the mop and we literally just started dousing the ribs with the mop. Did that for an hour, got them off, let them just sit there for about 5-10 minutes just resting. Then we ate them and oh my god, absolutely amazing. I was really impressed with actually how far the meat retracted from the bone. Really unusual to see it that much. So if you've enjoyed this video, please smash that subscribe button, leave me a like, leave me a little comment down below and let me know, would you do these ribs? Would you do them any differently? What do you think of that Yoder offset? It's an absolute beast in my opinion. What do you think? Thank you for watching and join me next time.